Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Kool-Aid Podcast. Today we'll be reviewing the games that happened yesterday, Monday, and Sunday as well. And wow, what a start! Just off the bat, the Morocco game was something else. What are your thoughts on it, Elias?
Yeah, on the Belgium Morocco game, this is like a terrible result for Belgium.
Mm,
I believe they did win their first game against who was it? I think it was against Canada. Yeah, they won against Canada one
they
0
did, yeah.
They in that game, Canada were the better team. If Canada missed a penalty, Canada had created a lot of chances, and I think that Belgium were overall lucky to get away with it. So then on this game, I think it's pretty much the same thing. Both of the goals that Belgium conceded, it was just poor defending. And right now, in the Belgium camp, it's like very intense. There's a lot of tension. You see Kevin De Bruyne coming out and just saying, "Hey, we're basically not good enough. We're too old." Then you also have Eden Hazard, Thibaut Courtois, and I believe it's Vertonghen coming out with statements to the media, and they're all in disagreement. There's rumors that there were fights in the camp. It doesn't seem like everything's going well in the Belgium camp, and this loss that puts them in a complicated position because the next game that they play is going to be against Croatia, actually. So, is there a possibility that Belgium don't make it through to the next round? We see actually Morocco going through because, as the way it stands, it's Croatia and Morocco who are going through at the moment. Um, it was just crazy.
No, yeah, and how you said it's mainly bad for Belgium, right? Well, obviously because they lost, but the situation they're in is a very tense and difficult one, like you said. Um, I mean, I guess the fans, the viewers and those who care about the sport and like seeing, the players be honest. I appreciated the honesty from De Bruyne. Personally, again, I'm not a Belgium fan. But again, I can see why everyone's upset about it. I don't think it's the professional thing to do. It's not the same, but it kind of reminds me of Ronaldo talking poorly about Manchester United during an interview. Like if there's stuff that you feel is important for people to know, I don't think an interview in the middle of a competition is the way to do it.
Yeah, bro.
Obviously.
Like you guys are playing the World Cup games. You saying
And they
that
still have a chance. They
exactly?
hypothetically still have a chance.
Exactly. They still have a chance to qualify. Um, so I don't think it's a smart thing to come out and say that into the media in your second game because in the next
For
game you
sure.
have a monster clash versus Croatia,
Hmm.
and you basically need to win that game.
Yeah,
Um,
and it's what we've said, right? It's easier said than done, right, to win these games, but especially because I do think I forgot on social media someone said this is the underdogs World Cup, and we have seen a lot of upsets and a lot of crazy score lines, but you can't like you said, I agree with you. As much as I like Kevin De Bruyne and as much as I value him as a player, that was the wrong thing to say. Even though I did like the honesty because a lot of players, they beat up around the bush and they bullshit their fans and they're not being honest. But I did appreciate the honesty coming from De Bruyne. But overall, that was a poor decision, and we've seen the consequences of it with a lot of tension and a lot of problems going on in the camp. However, on the game itself, I thought Morocco played excellent.
yeah,
Um, Respect to that team, they've been building it up for over 4 years now, and we saw the improvements in AFCON. We saw how much that team improved. There's great talent in that team like Mazuri, Hakimi, Sijek, a lot of really talented players there. And I think Morocco, if they do go through, which I would like them to, they're gonna shock the world. Whoever they play, even if it's a difficult team, I think they'll give him I think they'll give him a good fight. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a good game. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to watch most of it. I mean, I watched, I would say, around 60% of the game. So I guess that is most. I was tuning in with homework and other stuff I had to do. But overall, I thought it was a good performance. I did see the highlights, a lot of it, and I really liked it. I really liked the Moroccan side that I saw. But again, Belgium are lacking. I think everywhere right now I'm seeing some problems with the defense, but overall I don't think the defense has been the problem. I think it's the attack. It's a similar situation that I see at times with teams like the Netherlands, where they have a
Okay.
solid defense, a good midfield, but their attack just it doesn't help them.
Well, yeah, and on top of that, in the Netherlands, they have an emerging talent, Gakpo.
Yeah,
Gakpo has
yeah,
been on fire
crazy.
recently. Yeah, he's
He's
been on
been
fire recently.
phenomenal.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal. Um, well, what were you gonna say?
No, no, just that. Like, yeah, he's been amazing. But overall, yeah, like I said, Belgium are struggling right now. Unfortunately, I don't see them going through. I believe
Okay,
they need
okay.
to win
So you
tomorrow.
think that Croatia is gonna beat Belgium, and Morocco is gonna get something over Canada?
Oh yeah, yeah. Because this is the thing, right? And I wanted to talk about Canada real quick. I love that team, man. The way they play, they have so many moments of brilliance, and they're such a good team at creating chances, and their build up play is amazing. You have players like Davies, you have players like um David. I believe that's their striker
Oh yeah,
from Lyon, and it's just such a good team. It's really sad to see how poor they've been at finishing it. You know, Alfonso Davies, I love him so much as a player, but he hasn't shown up when it's mattered. He's missed the penalty, and
that penalty that he missed is just mind blowing because like
I believe that cost him a big part of the World Cup. But they live and they learn from that. I do think, likewise with the American team, those two teams are going to be a headache for anyone in the 2026 World Cup. I just think a big thing that people don't mention is that it's a very young team and there's still a lot of time to develop and a lot to do
yeah,
with that team and the players as a whole. Coaching can only go so far, but disappointing from Canada. I really did see them doing a lot better, but I do think they'll learn from this and they'll be ready next time around.
yeah, because in their game against Croatia, they started the game off winning.
Mm,
You saw them playing some very attacking football, and I believe they showed their immaturity at times, that their lack of experience at this stage. Because as soon as Croatia scored their goal, I think that Canada just collapsed.
yeah.
Managed to get two goals really quickly, and then from there on, it was just
Yeah, but I
all
think
Croatia.
a reason why they collapsed is I think they are poor defensively.
Poor
I
defensively.
think, well, maybe poor isn't the right word. It's strong and it's a assumption of the whole defense. I think they had times where yes, they're compact, but I think the defense is too loose. They leave a lot of space open for the forwards to move around. They let the midfielders get too close to the edge of the box, and I don't know. I think especially, well, I mean, the game against Belgium was only one goal that they got scored, so I guess it's not the best example. But I look at the game against Croatia, and they were just sloppy on defense. They gave away a lot of
Yeah,
chances.
exactly. They gave away a lot of chances. But is it that Canada were really good defensively against Belgium, or just Belgium were just that bad? Because when you look at
Belgium were just that bad.
exactly, it looks like the Belgium were just that bad to not be able to create chances against Canada. Because
Yeah.
Croatia just completely ran over Canada, and Canada might. It's looking very likely that Canada is going to top this group unless Belgium come up with a complete.
Well, you mean Croatia, right?
Yeah, yeah,
You're good.
yeah. Unless Morocco actually, uh, like what am I talking about? Um, Belgium plays Croatia in the last game, and Canada plays Morocco. Yeah. So unless they pull something out, it seems likely that they're going to go out.
Yeah. And again, it's a shame because I like the that Canada team. It's a very solid little team, and I would like to see them go on.
Yeah, it's just a shame. Um, but while the teams that haven't that another team that hasn't been playing well, that hasn't played well, was Japan. Japan lost 1-0 to Costa Rica.
Yeah. That was a crazy game. I completely expected Japan to just bulldoze through that Costa Rican team, man.
Oh, well, I
Wow, it
wasn't
was.
expecting them to bulldoze, but I was definitely expecting them to win just because Spain won 7-0. 7-0 over Japan. I mean, over Costa Rica. So then you would expect Japan to say, "Hey, you know what? Let's go attacking, and let's get this win because they win and they're basically through to the next round." And what happens? Costa Rica They're solid defensively, and Japan are just not able to break them down, and that's where they struggled.
Yeah, and it was an interesting game because Costa Rica they obviously sat back and defended, but they did it well. I think Navas had a great game, showing the testament of how good a goalie he is. And the Japanese team were just on them the whole time. So many chances, they were so close to scoring. And then um, this guy, I forget his name, uh, well, the one that scored for Costa Rica, that was a crazy goal. His first touch, his first shot. I
It
believe that
was
was
Kesher Fuller.
Fuller. Yes, I remember it was an F name. The first shot Costa Rica has had on target is a 100% conversion rate.
Yeah,
It was a tough shot. When I first saw it, I thought, well, that's a big mistake from the goalkeeper. But even I believe that even if he waited a little bit longer to make the jump, it was just the angle was too weird, and he was off his lines a little too much. So
yeah,
um, it was like a lob type chip of goal. It was weird. It was a very like awkward shot for the goalie. But again, that game was very surprising. I did expect Japan to win it with ease, and that wasn't the case at all.
yeah. And this like completely complicates the qualification because Germany played Costa Rica. Now you assume that Germany's going to beat Costa Rica. Spain have to get a result from no, Japan have to get a result from the Spain game.
Yeah, I believe Spain just has to tie.
Yeah, no, Spain. Yeah, Spain just have to tie, but Japan as well. Um, I believe if they tie, it has to be on goal difference. So Japan are in a terrible spot at the moment
Yeah.
because they're playing one of the best teams in Spain, who I thought played really well, who well a really good game against Germany. I thought that this was one of the best games that we've seen so far in the World Cup. Just like the high technical quality shown on display.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good game too. I just think I can't say Spain were great. I just think they were I just don't think they were just great. I think they were great at different times. Like in the first half, I thought they were
Yeah,
brilliant. But
exactly.
I look back and I think of the different opportunities that Germany had. I would say a good amount of the opportunities that Germany had came from mistakes from the Spanish team,
Yeah.
where the defense just gave the ball away, or the midfield didn't really cover as they should. I actually, the goal came from that, right? It was a loose pass from Rodrigo to, I believe it was, I don't remember who it was, to one of the German midfielders, and he gave it to Jamal Musiala, um, and then they scored the goal. But overall, I
Oh yeah.
think Germany were good defensively. They were compact. They gave the ball. They gave a lot of possession in their third, and that's a warning for Germany because Spain created a lot of chances. Spain could have had a four-goal game had they finished. And again, Germany did good too. There was the disallowed um, free kick from Rudiger.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
overall, I think the German team played good as well. They weren't as creative as they should have been. And Germany do have to watch out because Spain just didn't have a great game. If Spain had been more clinical with their passing, because they did give the ball away a few times, and they have been more clinical on the passing and on their defense, Germany would have surely lost. But of course, I think Spain are genuine contenders this year, and they're showing it. Even Alvaro Morata's been on form, so
Yeah.
something we don't see often.
Yeah, and a couple players in the Spanish team who played well that game was Pedri, Gavi,
Dani Olmo.
and Dani Olmo. I think all of them played a fantastic game. I thought Musiala played a good game. Like the talent was on display. It was amazing, and I fancy Spain going very far in this tournament.
Yeah,
Um,
I
do,
would go as far as to say semis, maybe even finals.
Yeah, no, I actually have Spain reaching the semis, but that's how much faith I have in this team. Just because when you look at how they played in the Euros, I think that they were the best team. If it wasn't for losing the penalties against on
Yeah,
Italy,
penalty shootouts don't mean anything to me. I mean, They show, like good resilience and good penalty taking, but it's the game that matters to me most. And I thought Spain completely dominated Italy that game.
Yeah,
And they
exactly.
just parked the bus like how they always do and
and
defended.
and now Spain just have to get just not lose, or if I think if they do lose, just lose by a 1 goal margin.
Yeah, they're
The,
in a really good spot. I definitely see them going through whether they
yeah,
win or not.
yeah, exactly. That way, they're they no. And on top of that, even if they lose, they're gonna pass by goal difference. So Spain are basically through, just dependent on like, are they gonna finish first or second, and what side of the bracket they're gonna be in. Germany's chances once again very good. Japan not good, but let's not also forget Costa Rica. If Costa Rica brings an upset, if they manage to beat Germany, which I highly don't think is gonna happen, um, and they're through to the next round. Can we see something reminiscent of 2014?
Well, that would be interesting, but again, I think that's very unlikely. Again, we can't say this though. We've seen everything this World Cup. I can't think of anything new that would surprise me. We saw Saudi Arabia win. We've seen Japan win. We've seen Costa Rica win. What haven't we seen? What haven't we seen? So
We've seen everything.
um, we'll have to find out. But again, I do see Germany winning that.
You see Germany, yeah, it's the same thing. I don't think that Germany are gonna lose. But basically, all the play for on the final match day, most of the teams in both groups can go through. Um, it's just to see if they can just go over the line. But do you have any more thoughts before we round up?
No, I just think it's been a great World Cup so far. Maybe it's because I'm a bit older now and I can appreciate it more, but I think this has generally been one of the best World Cups I've seen. Um, just because of all the upsets, all the crazy games that I've seen. Overall, good performances. We've seen players like Richarlison score great goals. We've seen Messi playing at a good level again.
Yeah,
I just think it's been very interesting. One message for the channel, real quick, guys. I know we're a little bit behind on the games we're reviewing, real quick. We've just gotten caught up with the personal stuff in school, but we will be uploading and we will be up to date by the end of this week. So tune
yeah,
in and keep watching the reviews for the new games that we're doing. We'll go over um, Monday's match day tomorrow and so on.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
of course, like always, drop a like, sub, and if you guys want, you can hop on the stream and leave any